Hello everyone and welcome back to another half-naked installment of the True Generalist Travel. Today I'm going to show you, I showed you before in a previous video how to really quickly plan your trip in less than an hour. So now I'm going to show you how to really quick book it. So I'm booking my Costa Rica trip and I'm using the exact same book here that I had before. And I just want to show you a couple things. So first you have to figure out what you're going to do, which I already did. I wanted to touch lava and go kite surfing. So those are the two things that I wanted to do. And I also have to figure out what time of year is a good time to go. And of course that will change based on your availability with your job and everything. But I'm going to go in November. That's because I have to go somewhere this year and I haven't been anywhere yet. And so I have to go in November or December. So I'm going to check the weather patterns. So if I come over here, there we go. You can just easily do a search on Google, which I did. Here we go. So I actually just did a search on Google, Costa Rica weather November is all I did. And it came up with this little site, Costa Rica, November. And you can select your month here, which is really nice, very handy site. And I can see easily in this little graph, well, it's going to be kind of rainy most of Costa Rica because it is towards the end of the rainy season. Over here on the Caribbean side, it'll be drier. But then when I get into December, it's actually going to be nice here and drier over here. So I'm probably going to spend most of my time in here in the beginning of my trip and then kind of move this way so I can get to the drier areas. So Laguna de Arenal, however you pronounce that, is up here in the middle of the country here, and that's where all the good kite surfing is. So I know that I want to go there. So I just searched kite surfing Laguna de Arenal, and I can click. I found Tico Wind, which was it looked like a very cool site, kind of pricey, 3 days, $530 for training and everything, and then you can rent after that. So that's what I'm going to do. And I also found a really nice hotel called the Volcano Brewing, and this is really neat because check this out, all-inclusive package, $89 a night, which is much more than I usually spend on a hotel, but it's all-inclusive. It is food, it is alcohol, drinks, whatever you want. For however long you're staying there, which I thought was pretty cool. And I'll just be staying there a few days, so I'll check it out. Now, that is towards the end of the trip, and if I click on my Google calendars here, you can see that I have Costa Rica planned here, and I've kind of blocked out a general idea. So I arrive in San Jose on the 11th. I'm in the Caribbean, which is on the drier end of the coast for the beginning of the month, and then I'm going to go to the parks and volcanoes, and then I'm going to go kite surfing, and then go back to San Jose. I might go further west before I go back to San Jose, but that's just kind of my blocking right now. So I know I'm going to go kite surfing here. So I went ahead and I booked a trip with Tico Wind, and I just emailed them. And most of the time you can get information just emailing them. Sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes they have actual live contact that you can talk to someone live, which is very neat, and you can do that with this hotel, and I got a lot of information that way. So that's very cool. Now, I need a jump-off point, right? So I've already booked kind of the end of my trip. Where do I start? I need a place to stay when I first arrive in San Jose. So I like to go through Hostel World. Typically, I always find good hostels here, and you can check out reviews and where they are located. So I just put in Costa Rica, San Jose, and put my, I'm just going to start out with 3 nights. Typically, I just do 3 nights, and then I can jump off from there, or I can book there to stay longer if I need to. So I'm going to do a quick search with that. And as that's coming up, I'm just going to show you right here, I have a map of San Jose. And so I know where all of the good spots are. So I want to find a hostel that's close to all of that stuff, but also really nice. So this site has a nice feature called Compare. So I can just compare all of these guys. La la la. I'm just going to click some to compare them. And here we go. There we go. So I've compared all of these. I'm just kind of clicking them. I don't remember which one I actually booked. But I'll click on them. And then I'm going to come up here to compare all these guys. So I can click on compare, and it brings up this nice little comparison here. Now, there's a couple things that you want to pay attention to in this view. So you want to see, of course, how much it is, how much the privates are, is there breakfast included. Internet access is huge. You have to have internet access. So this place is already out. Click. Not staying there because they do not have internet access. And then I can look at tours desk. You definitely want this if you're not sure where you want to go. If you can't book your entire trip right off the bat, then you want to make sure that each one has a tour desk. And I'm not going to, because if you look up here, I have these rainforest canopy tours, this national park here, and I want to go to some of the volcanoes. I can't. This is so much information online. I can't look at it all online. So I'm going to just wait until I get there, and I'm going to book at the tour desk there. Typically, they have deals actually locally at the hostel, so that's a better idea. So make sure that they have a tour desk if that's what you're going for. And then I have a nice little map, so I see where everything is, and I see this hostel, number 4, is way the heck out there. I don't want to stay there because that is not near anything. Another thing is I'm actually going to rent a car while I'm there. So I don't see a parking category here, but you can usually go to each one. So I'm going to click on this Costa Rica because it's closest to the center of town. And I've actually already looked through here. I know that it does have parking. And you can see the overall rating that people have given it. Character, security, location, staff, all this stuff, very important. And they have a pool, which is nice. So I voted on this one, and I booked this hostel, and I can kind of tell this is just a map of San Jose, or map of Costa Rica, and I'm kind of laying out where I'm going. And if I go here to Orbitz, I usually go to Orbitz to book any of my foreign travel. I used to do that with flights, but now I just go through United because I have a lot of miles, which is nice. But now I'm going to book a car, and the reason I decided to book a car rather than take a bus is because Costa Rica is very small, and it's very easy to drive from place to place. And if you look at these car rental prices, granted, we'll see what happens when I get there, but I rented a car for 3.5 weeks for $128. And that's an in-terminal car rental place. And going through Orbitz gives me a little bit of reassurance that it's actually legitimate. If I were to go to some Costa Rican site and there's this car rental place there, I wouldn't trust it as much. Since it's now been endorsed by Orbitz, I went ahead and rented through them, and I have a car for $128, which is pretty darn cheap. So that's kind of how I go through, and I decide everything that I'm going to do, and I booked it. To keep track of your expenses, I actually use this right here, which is Evernote, and I just have a little reference here for expenses. Costa Rica, this is the type of expense, this is my costs that I expect to pay, and this is the actual amount that I paid. So here you can see I already booked that, and I've already booked all of these. I'm getting to a total of this, and my total budget is $3,500. I typically spend $1,000 a week when I travel because I like to travel cheaply, but I still like to do all of the activities that are there. So with everything I had planned already, I only have $1,000 left. So it's going to be close. But if I add in gas and national park tickets and tours and things like that, I think I'll get to around $3,500, and it will be okay. So I hope that helped you guys out a little bit. Booking whatever travel you have. Once again, I can't endorse enough. The Eyewitness travel guides are awesome, and you should totally check them out. Super easy to get around in them, and that's how I would book anything. So happy traveling.